We are here with Will Gartland, who was discharged from the U.S. Army as a corporal and who, after many years of service to the Los Angeles Police Department, retired as a captain. Will, why is Memorial Day special to you?
Well, Memorial Day is special not because we remember the men who haven't come back to us, but we have to take into consideration their families and all the people who have missed them. So it's just not about them, it's about everybody who was affected by it. The loss of a father, the loss of a mother, brother, sister. And so it's for the whole family, not just for the individual.
Absolutely. And Will, who is it that you are remembering this Memorial Day?
Well, I have a family that's been in many wars. When I was 9 years old, I was exposed to war with the beginning of the World War II. And my brother, older brother, at 17 years of age, enlisted in the Navy and served until the end of the war. And he was on a ship that was torpedoed in Boston Harbor while they were trying to refuel. I served in the Army for 2 years during the Korean War, but I never served overseas. I had all stateside duty. And my younger brother came along at the time of the Vietnam War, and he was a orthopedic doctor at the time. And a lot of his education had been paid for by the ROTC, so he immediately, when he got his doctorate, he immediately volunteered to be activated. And they sent him to Vietnam, and he was at one of these tent hospitals like you see if you watch MASH, right on the border of Cambodia and Vietnam, and they were constantly under fire. During the time I was there, he wrote me one letter, and in that letter he talked about the people he was saving, our soldiers, the enemy soldiers, and the civilians. And he was emotionally involved in one when he said he could no longer practice medicine the way he'd like to, but in order to save lives, he had to amputate. And he had to amputate that day the leg of a 4-year-old girl. Since that time, we've had more wars, and I have 2 grandnephews who served in, what can't I think of the name, in Asia, Afghanistan, thank you. And I have 2 grandsons who are waiting to start their enlistment, one in the Navy and one in the Air Force. And I lost one cousin in World War II out of all the family that served. But the reason I picked my brother is that, as he said, he was saving people's lives, and at the same time he was saving their lives. We had people here rioting, and that was the first time I came under fire when we were trying to take care of a student anti-Vietnam protest in UCLA. And so we've had a number of things happen here, some recently that show that the policemen are on the line, but the one case that comes to mind the most is what they call the North Hollywood shootout. 2 heavily armed bandits robbed a bank when they were seen by a police patrol car going by. He saw what it meant, called for help, and a gun battle started right there on the streets of North Hollywood, right around Laurel Canyon and Victory Boulevard. It lasted for over an hour. Finally, a car arrived with 3 members of the SWAT team who had good armors, good weapons, and they finally put the suspect down. In the meantime, he had wounded 8 policemen and 5 civilians, all very critically. Fortunately, they all lived. But at the moment it all ended and the last gunshot was fired, there's a phenomenon that happens at every one of these scenes, and that's the sound of war is really the sound of silence, when everybody stops, tries to catch their breath and say, thank you, it's over. And it's a very brief silence, but it's the loudest thing you've ever heard, the silence of all those people. That's all I can think of.
Thank you, Will.